where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Maris.
Hello.
Hi. It's not a Maris Monday.
Oh.
It's just
a regular Monday.
It's not even a Monday, dude. This is Tuesday.
I don't know where time has gone.
Right up your butt, apparently.
Yeah.
So, we're doing I'm kind of alternating while we get back on track. I want to go up to 2 episodes a week again, but for right now, because it's kind of a busy summer, I'm going to stick to 1 episode a week of alternating themes, and we're going to do a more creepy Maris Monday style today.
Hooray.
Hooray. So it's very sad, though.
Oh.
Trigger warning for death and suicide.
Ah.
And this is the tsunami of 2011 Japan and the ghosts.
Oh.
Yes, it's very eerie. But I want to talk about the tsunami itself first. So Japan is very familiar with disasters. It's a way of life. They have a phrase for this, and I'm not going to butcher the Japanese pronunciation with my stupid Arkansas twang. So it roughly translates into earthquake, fire, and typhoon. And this is such a common phrase that it's become like in nursery rhymes and stuff like that.
That's a sad nursery rhyme.
I mean, they have a lot of earthquakes in Japan.
Yeah.
You know? It's just a commonplace saying. It's how the Japanese prepare for the natural disasters that plague the island nation. On the coasts, there are things called tsunami stones, with carvings in them saying that homes should be built on high ground to not forget the calamity of tsunamis, and they serve as a marker to kind of show where not to build a house.
Okay.
Like, if you go past the stone to build a house closer to the shore, it's just a death sentence for you.
Okay, fine. Fine, Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea for, like,
Rock's telling me what to do.
Well, historically. I'm never going to talk to you again. That's how that works. Yeah. So, as a result of the many earthquakes Japan has had to deal with, especially those in the 20th century, the people just adapted. They built their buildings with high standards, able to withstand earthquakes. They were prepared with drills and alerts of every kind, and the schools especially. Like, it is said in Japan, the safest place for your kid to be is at school.
Right.
Like, they took that shit serious. They had, like, a manual for every kind of disaster imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
And in this way, they became a role model for the world for how we should prepare.
Yeah.
And, I remember hearing about, like, all the earthquakes in San Francisco and how when they rebuilt some stuff and their new building standards were modeled after Japan.
Yeah, makes sense.
But nothing could prepare them for March 11th, 2011. Nothing.
Mm.
It was around midday when an earthquake began in a town called Rika Zintakata.
Okay.
I said it, Rinta Zintakata.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah. The people there believed they were prepared, just as other towns along Japan's northeastern shoreline did. The northeastern shoreline was particularly vulnerable to tsunamis, but it had always been this way, and the people learned from the mistakes of the past. Or so they thought. People in these towns had spent tons of money and decades preparing. They built flood walls, breakwaters, evacuation towers, and something called tsunami forests. And this is where they planted tons of black pine trees. Now, this would not stop tsunami waters, but they believed, in theory, it would slow them down, thus giving people more of a chance to escape to high ground.
Right.
But this was just an untested theory.
Sort of like wetlands or something.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't a bad idea.
Right.
The earthquake was the most powerful anyone had ever felt in recent memory. It was violent, shaking buildings apart, even though they'd been built to withstand earthquakes. The shaking lasted a horrifying 6 full minutes. And that was just the first one. There were subsequent quakes and aftershocks after it. It just, wouldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
The earthquake measured a terrifying 9.0 on the Richter scale. This was the strongest recorded earthquake in Japan's history. The quake was so strong, it moved Japan 4 meters closer to the United States.
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah, not fun.
No.
This is what fucks me up. It tilted the Earth on its fucking axis by 6.5 inches.
Do you think that's enough to like fuck everything up and that's why everything's wrong? Or
No.
Oh.
Everything's wrong for a whole other variety of
Okay.
stupid reasons.
Oh. All right.
It's just insane and scary to me because that's how powerful this quake was.
You moved the earth.
Now, I want to talk quickly about another tsunami, the one in 2002, I believe it was. Excuse me. No, it was 2004. Excuse me. And it was the Boxing Day tsunami in Indonesia and Thailand. And that was one of the worst natural disasters in the history of the world.
Wow.
And that earthquake that happened out in the ocean was an 8.5.
Right.
And that killed nearly 300,000 people.
That's so many.
Which just blows my mind to
Right.
bits. I can't imagine I just can't imagine it.
No.
And people don't understand tsunamis, but we'll talk about them in a second because I find them kind of, fascinating. There are a lot of misconceptions about what a tsunami is and what it looks like. It's not this pristine blue giant wave that comes in and sweeps everything along the shore out to sea.
Right.
It's a wall of black and brown water, fast-moving, gathering debris, soil, and ripping everything in its path to pieces. By the time the water reaches you, it's too fast to outrun. Usually, they're not that high. It's usually chest high or high, like over your head. This tsunami was a mega tsunami, and it was over 10 meters high. That's 32 feet.
Oh, that's really high.
That's a lot of bananas.
Yeah, I was trying to picture it in banana form, but I couldn't.
It's approximately 48 bananas. You're welcome.
Okay.
I did the math.
All
the
right.
banana math.
That makes more sense.
But in some places, the tsunami was over 132 feet tall.
That's so big.
No one could have prepared for that. The water was filled with trunks of trees from the tsunami forest. It just ripped them out of the ground.
Right.
It didn't do anything. It didn't save anything. Right? It was full of cars, parts of buildings, boats, entire buildings, shards of glass, and other debris. Being inside that water was like being in a washing machine full of knives.
Yeah, no thanks.
A lot of tsunami deaths in Japan weren't from drowning. They were from suffocation and being ripped apart by debris.
That's fucked up.
Entire towns on the coast vanished. The water went in 6 miles in places. 19,759 people died that day. 2,553 remain missing. You can Google it, and it will say most of the deaths were due to drowning, but it's just not true. They were just crushed by debris. The overwhelming majority of the dead were elderly and children. It's always like this. It was like that in the Boxing Day tsunami as well.
Mm-hmm.
A school along the coast saw most of the 79 children that went there dead. Only 4 of them survived. Thousands of bodies were never found. Either they were buried under feet of mud and couldn't be dug up when the waters receded, or they were carried out to sea.
Yeah.
The 2011 tsunami was the worst disaster to strike Japan since the U.S. dropped 2 atomic bombs on the country during World War II. It was the most expensive natural disaster in history, with damages over $230 billion.
Yeah.
And that wasn't all. Japan is still dealing with the aftermath, because the tsunami breached the Daiichi nuclear power plant in Fukushima Prefecture. The pumps failed, the backup generators failed, the cooling tanks failed.
Right.
And 3 of the 4 reactors melted down, and it was just about as bad as the Chernobyl disaster.
Yeah.
Which we'll cover.
Oh, boy.
Probably this month or next.
Oh, good.
There's a lot of weird shit surrounding that. It's impossible to describe the toll this took on the Japanese people. Entire towns were gone. Loved ones never found. Even the landscape was forever changed. Like the shape of the shoreline was changed forever.
Yeah.
The cleanup took a very long time as the waters left behind debris and mud and corpses. Some people took their own lives in their grief. Others withdrew into themselves. Therapists and counselors in Japan called it disaster syndrome, describing the skyrocketing rates of depression and PTSD after the disaster. Which is understandable. It's easy to explain, even if it is difficult to go through. But what wasn't easy to explain was how strange things kept happening. It seemed like some of the tsunami victims were coming back.
No. Zombies?
No.
Oh, good.
Strange figures in drenched clothes, despite there being no rain, were seen walking in the streets late at night. Mysterious knocks on the doors of survivors. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of stories like these. People saw the faces of loved ones reflected in water. Strangers, dripping wet, would appear on doorsteps begging for dry clothes. And when the resident would go and fetch them, they'd return to find that person gone. Sometimes people would see friends and neighbors who had died in the disaster in the windows of their homes or sitting down in puddles of water in the street. Most of the reports of ghosts came from the taxi drivers. As it was strange and very sad, the taxi drivers kind of only talked to each other about what they saw. They told stories of passengers who got into their taxis soaking wet and gave addresses to places that had been destroyed and swept away by the tsunami.
Yeah.
These drivers would they would disappear very suddenly and silently also.
That's creepy, awful.
Yes, these drivers would pay the fares out of pocket because they kind of just thought it was a manifestation of their own grief because most of these people had lost somebody.
Yeah.
One driver told a story about a woman in a heavy coat getting into his cab. It was warm out, so he found it strange. She asked to go to a neighborhood that was completely destroyed by the tsunami, and when he kind of softly and carefully explained this to her, she sat there in silence for a long moment. And then she said, "Have I died?"
Uh-oh.
When he turned to look at her, she was gone.
Yeah.
People kept seeing ghostly figures wandering the streets where there were no longer buildings, and these figures would get in line to shops that had been swept away and then vanish into thin air. At one resource center, an elderly woman would be seen having tea there, often. But everyone who knew that woman knew she was dead.
Yeah.
No one ever saw her show up. She was just there drinking tea. She would leave, and the cushion she'd been sitting on would be completely soaked with seawater.
At least it wasn't pee.
At least it wasn't piss. That's true.
Yeah.
None of the people who knew her had it in them to tell her she was dead.
Right.
I just think that's so sad.
Yeah, I was like, can you not be polite for a minute and let her know?
Be like, bitch, you dead. Girl.
You gotta move on.
You gotta go lay down somewhere.
Yeah.
Witnesses to these strange events said they were more sad than scary. These ghosts weren't angry or violent, just lost. Another strange thing that happened is religious leaders began to get calls to perform exorcisms. So in Shinto Buddhism, it is believed that in order to pass on to like the next plane of existence where you become a Buddha yourself, a dead person must be taken care of. Like certain rites must be performed and they must be prayed to by loved ones. But the tsunami killed entire households. It destroyed shrines to ancestors, and in this way it made many spirits wander the earth, tethered here, unable to escape. And many witnesses kind of thought these people didn't even seem like they knew they were dead.
Right.
Calls for exorcisms came from homes, hospitals, and even government facilities. This last part makes me cry. I'm going to try and get through it.
Okay.
And this is a short episode.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like this story. I find it interesting and sad. Whew, okay. In the hills of Awate, someone built a phone booth that contained a rotary phone not connected to any phone line. Survivors of the tsunami would go into this phone booth and pick up the phone and talk to their dead loved ones.
Oh.
As a way to cope with their grief. See, I can't. It just kills me.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is called...
Why'd you pick something so damn sad?
I just think these stories are kind of beautiful, sad, you know what I mean?
Right.
It is called The Phone of the Wind. Oh, shit.
Oh,
shit.
no.
I just think that's the most beautiful, sad thing I've ever heard.
It's terrible.
People still make pilgrimage to this place to talk to their dead loved ones. Ugh. I just can't think of anything more fucking horrifying than a tsunami.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And, like, I just think maybe these people died so suddenly, you know?
They were just, didn't process.
They didn't process that they died.
Yeah.
And they're probably, I can't talk about how sad these ghosts are.
Yeah.
My little feelings are just
fucking
crushed.
sad ghost.
I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
But, you know, a lot of people want to dismiss this as people just grieving. And I understand that. They went through a horrific, hell-like event.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched the footage, and I encourage y'all to do it if you can stomach it. The footage of that tsunami.
No thanks.
And oh my God. It's just horror. It looks like hell to me.
Yeah, no thanks.
And I can't imagine living through something like that. So I get skeptics, you know, I do, who say that, well, you know, they're just kind of hallucinating or projecting their grief, whatever. But it's just, there's hundreds and hundreds of these stories. It's especially the stories of the taxi drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does reflect stories in the U.S. at, like, crossroads and places where, like, a woman died in a car accident and then they pick up the woman in white, that kind of stuff.
Right.
The hitchhiker thing.
Yeah.
And then that takes us back to the hitchhiker effect and UFO phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's something to it.
Well,
That's
it's
all.
like ports of transition, like airports or a taxi cab
Trains,
or an elevator.
yeah, hotels.
Yeah.
These liminal spaces, you travel in between spaces, kind of.
Yeah.
And I want to say, too, that I believe water has a lot to do with hauntings.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we live in a very wet place with lots of natural springs. There's like 86 unnamed springs in Eureka Springs.
Right.
And that water is always sliding over limestone.
Right.
And that creates electromagnetic activity. And that people seem to believe that, like, powers spiritual activity.
It's a crackpot theory, yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I don't like how the world is. If I want to believe some crackpot shit, I'm gonna.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, often near bodies of water, there's ghosts. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the tsunami was a water event.
Right.
And water always, like, we're born through water.
Indeed.
So I don't know. I think there's something to it. I think water is transitional spiritually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I got.
Sounds
That's my
good.
theories.
Yeah.
I don't have any business time, y'all. You can join Patreon. I am working on cases. I did get concussed. I got hit by a car.
That's cool.
A big side mirror just smashed right into my face.
Nice.
And I had a head injury, and I certainly didn't need another one of those.
No.
So I'm better. I'm better. Less headaches.
Yeah.
No more double vision.
Yeah.
had that for a minute. Makes it very hard to research anything, and I was very sleepy.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly better now, so I'm hoping to get some work done. So just thank you all for bearing with me and for sticking around and being teabags.
Yeah.
I'll be back in the Discord soon too. I've just been,
Harry.
screens especially were like hurting my eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. Sad fucking ghosts.
Sad fucking wet ghosts.
God damn, Maris, you
What?
you have no tact.
No.
No tact in you whatsoever.
No.
All right, say I love you, Maris.
I love you, Maris.
No, you're right.
I love you.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.